The Pittsburgh Steelers lose to the Cleveland Browns. Everybody freaks out about it. We freak out about it. And everybody in the comment section on Friday, and this is not, I'm not calling all you guys out, so nobody get upset, told me I'm overreaction or I'm overreacting. So much so that my 2.5-hour drive home, all I thought about was, man, dude, I was definitely overreacted, man. I was going way too hard on these guys. This is ridiculous. I got to calm it down. Spent the weekend clearly focused on other things, but also just preparing for today to make sure that I was, I went from a 10 down to like a 6. I like to float at a 6. Keeps me cool, calm, and collected. Well, I was very mild compared to everyone else out there in the analytical world who said, oh, the Pittsburgh Steelers are done, man. It's over. You lost to the Cleveland Browns. Season done. 4 days ago, 5 days ago, I guess a week ago now, the Pittsburgh Steelers might be winning the Super Bowl. They just beat the Baltimore Ravens. This team is on their high horse. They are going big. They are going home. Nothing bad is going to happen to the Pittsburgh Steelers. They are legitimate, and they could beat anybody. Kansas City, Baltimore, Buffalo, everybody included. They are Super Bowl bound. They lose to the Cleveland Browns, and the 180 is wild. This is what Jason McIntyre, which I understand what I just said, I got it, of Fox Sports had to say about the Pittsburgh Steelers schedule and their outlook on the playoffs. Quote, have you looked at the Steelers schedule, by the way? I'm not saying the sky's falling, but could you have 2 more wins on their schedule? Here it is. Find me the next 2 wins that they have. Well, here it is, means Cincinnati, Cleveland again. Then you go play Philadelphia, Baltimore, Kansas City, Cincinnati one more time. Mm-hmm. I would imagine 2 more wins is certainly possible. Jason La Canfora doubled down on that and said that, yeah, there might only be 2 more wins on the Pittsburgh Steelers schedule. What are we talking about here, people? Because the Pittsburgh Steelers are an 8-3 football team that have beaten teams that, well, people said they were never going to beat. And we're sitting here right now talking about how the Pittsburgh Steelers aren't going to make the playoffs. That a week ago, last Monday, we sat here on a Victory Monday cheering the Pittsburgh Steelers, how everybody said that they are a top 5 team in the NFL. They are it. The wild part to me when it comes to all this is Kansas City loses to Buffalo. Nobody talks about how Kansas City isn't going to win the Super Bowl. Buffalo loses to whoever, and nobody's talking about how Buffalo is not going to win the Super Bowl. Baltimore loses to Pittsburgh. Nobody's talking about how Baltimore isn't going to win the Super Bowl. These are all Super Bowl teams. The Pittsburgh Steelers lose to the Cleveland Browns on Thursday night, a game that they are historically bad at. And they are all of a sudden done? That they can't beat the Cleveland Browns the next time at home. That they aren't going to beat Cincinnati at least once after sweeping the AFC North last season. That Baltimore is going to beat them because historically Baltimore beats them? Oh, wait, that's not correct. Actually, historically, the Pittsburgh Steelers beat Baltimore most times. Not once a season, most times. That you're not going to get at least a shot at a win over Philadelphia and Kansas City when, again, a week ago, we were saying chances are they could beat one of those guys at least. At least. Here we are right now where the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to finish 10-7. Head into the playoffs, maybe not even make the playoffs at 10-7 because the AFC is just loaded right now. Their season's over. I mean, I think my facial expressions, and for those of you listening through audio, it's not a good one. Explain a lot here. So I'll give you the floor. What the hell, my friend? Has the ship sunk that bad and somehow we just are on the side that it's still floating? We're still above water over here? It's just going down. We haven't even noticed?
No, the NFL national media is in its prisoner of the moment era right now because nobody can look further back than Thursday night, apparently, because the Steelers this year, yeah, they have a tough schedule to close out the year. They have all division games, and the 2 division games the 2 games that aren't division games are against an Eagles team that is flying high and a Kansas City Chiefs team that almost lost to the Panthers this weekend, but nobody's going to mention that.
No.
But also, nobody can look further back and notice the Steelers are 5-0 against teams with a winning record this year. I mean, it's unbelievable. 1 loss, yes, I understand. It's a bad loss, but they lost to 2-8 teams last year in back-to-back weeks. They still made the playoffs. They still pushed the Bills. This is not a, out of character loss for the Pittsburgh Steelers, which is unfortunate to say, but even their best teams have fallen victim to the, as people in Pittsburgh call them, Mike Tomlin trap games. And it's specifically not a trap game. It is a Mike Tomlin trap games. And a lot of those boxes were checked off on going into Thursday night game, divisional opponent on the road. And then to make things even worse, it was the snow globe game. So yes, they lost. Yes, it's a bad look, but are we really going that far of a 180 in 1 week? No, it's ridiculous.
Long gone are the days of waiting in long lines at midnight to get the best deals on your favorite things on Black Friday. Now, all you got to do is check out my partners, DraftKings Sportsbook, who have touchdowns on sale all weekend long. Now, that's something to get excited about. Did you think that was it? Well, right now, all new DraftKings customers who bet just $5 will get $150 in bonus bets if your bet wins. Just download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and sign up using my promo code ALLSTEELERS. The crown is yours. That's right. Check out the DraftKings Sportsbook app all weekend long to stay up to date on all of the touchdown offers available. And don't forget to stay in on the action and use your $150 in bonus bets on DraftKings same-game parlays for a shot on an even bigger payout. Combine multiple bets together from the same game. If sports betting is not yet available in your state, don't worry. You can still join in on all the fun with DraftKings Daily Fantasy and have the shot to win cash prizes. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. New customers use my promo code ALLSTEELERS and bet just $5 on any wager and get $150 in bonus bets if your bet wins. That's promo code ALLSTEELERS only at DraftKings Sportsbook. It's wild to me. The Cleveland Browns beat the Pittsburgh Steelers in the Cleveland Browns Super Bowl. Myles Garrett said that it took every single thing they had to beat them. The Pittsburgh Steelers are historically bad on Thursday night with Mike Tomlin. They're even worse on Thursday night against losing teams. They almost always drop a trap game during a season. Most time there's two. Well, here's the second one, pal. Maybe the third one if you want to include Indianapolis. But to be honest, I don't even think that's a trap game. I just think that was a Joe Flacco game. That was a quarterback got changed and the team got a spark because that team's probably not terrible. They were just playing terrible. I don't know what happened and why people are freaking out to the level that they're freaking out, but I'll be very honest with you. If somebody said, no, what are the odds? And I got asked this. The people who were doing my basement the other day asked me. They said, well, is it over? Like, what's going to happen next? And I said, the odds that the Pittsburgh Steelers shock the world in the next couple of weeks and beat teams like Baltimore again, beat a team like Philadelphia, beat a team like Kansas City is certainly higher than if Pittsburgh Steelers only win 2 more games. Certainly higher, much higher. The chances that the Pittsburgh Steelers go undefeated the rest of the year, which I get it, slim.
Yeah.
Still higher than them only winning 2 games. And what are those 2 games? Cincinnati and Cleveland? That's it? Like, I don't think so. I don't think so. The Cincinnati Bengals don't look that good. The Chiefs, everybody watched the Chiefs game. Everybody watched the Chiefs game. Bryce Young is not that good, dude. I'm sorry. Adam Thielen ain't that good, dude. They're beatable. They're beatable. Philadelphia is beatable, and they just lost Brandon Graham for the season, which is a massive blow. And Baltimore, well, we'll find out how good Baltimore could bounce back tonight, but the Steelers have their number and remains it. And I'm sorry, but if Cleveland sweeps the Pittsburgh Steelers this season, then I will change my tone. But I almost give that a 0% chance of happening because they are going to be so pissed off in 2 weeks because you haven't given enough space to forget about this. That's the thing. You're going to give them 1 week against Cincinnati. Okay, cool. Cincinnati's going to be a hard game. Then they're going to go back. Greg Newsom's still going to be on the same rant that he was on the other day. Myles Garrett's still going to be talking up a storm because that dude's still going. It's wild. Like they have not gotten over it. They won't get over it. And I'll tell you, I forget the name and I apologize. I apologize who reported this because it's not going to come to me. Said that the Steelers looked real pissed off coming out of the tunnel. They looked real pissed off in the locker room too. And I would imagine they're going to be pissed off tomorrow. I imagine Thanksgiving ain't going to be real happy for the Pittsburgh Steelers because they're going to be fired up. It's a different tone. It's a different attitude. I'd give a much higher chance that the Pittsburgh Steelers go on a run to finish this season than I would sitting here saying 2 games and missing the playoffs. What are we doing? I would have imagined that was an overreaction tomorrow, and I would have that's the response that I had when I read not 1, not 2, but like 4 stories that said this person says the Steelers are done. What are we talking about? So let me ask, and then we'll move on. We'll start answering everybody's questions.
Mm-hmm.
On Monday, what percentage of the people that have said that the Steelers are done, that it's over, 2 wins, probably not making the playoffs, change that outlook to Steelers are Super Bowl bound come Monday morning with a win in Cincinnati?
That depends. I mean, it's over 50%. It's
Yes.
over 50% regardless if you win. But if Joe Burrow does what Joe Burrow's been doing and they still win,
yes,
I think it goes up to 75.
What if Joe Burrow doesn't even do what he's been doing? What if he's unable to do what he's doing? The Steelers just look that good.
You know who we're talking about, right? You know, like you
know
the names you let off this segment with, right? Those two are going to say, "Well, Joe Burrow had a bad game, which is why the Steelers won." Like they're not going to give the Steelers defense credit.
Yeah, the Steelers defense didn't have anything to do with it.
Yeah. So again, I don't pay much mind to those type of people, but I think that there's going to be a large faction of people that if they win, which it's the benefit of 10 days between games, and then it's what you did last. If they win that game in Cincinnati, there's going to be a lot of people that are saying, okay, they righted the ship. All is well. And everybody's going to look at this and say, oh, we might have overreacted last week, which, yes, a lot of people did.
I agree. Shout out to Pittsburgh Steelers, man. Ain't nobody got the national media attention in such a strange light, the way that the Pittsburgh Steelers have the national media's attention in such a strange light.